I just hope you'll give me a few moments here to celebrate, to appreciate, and reminisce for a moment. It really has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your board president this past year. I often say that the 9 of us, we sit here up at the dais and we talk for hours, and we vote on things, but really at the end of the day, it's our 4,000 employees that run the system, and it's BART's leadership that guides the way with our GM Bob Powers at the helm, which I'll just pretend you have floppier hair and you're like kicking your feet. And I am so incredibly proud of all that BART does. And looking back at all we have done this year, it's really, truly incredible. I know that so much of what's turned our system around this year has been months and really years in the making. And honestly, I feel like I just am lucky to be here at the right place at the right time as board president to see BART make incredible strides to build a better, safer, cleaner, more reliable, and more rider-centered system than ever. So I chose my top 3 here, but I have more to say about all these things. So my top 3 highlights of the year. First is we run trains, and being able to really run trains reliably, improving our rider experience, and seeing our on-time performance skyrocket to over 90% as we fully switch to running only new trains is really, really incredible, and we know that our riders see that. Second highlight is transforming our policing and safety presence to serve as a national model of what it means to keep our communities safe through our ambassador program, our 2 campaigns to address harassment and violence on transit, Not One More Girl, and Let's Talk About Us, and our work to fill police officer vacancies and increase safety presence in our system with outcome-based, data-driven decision-making. And I want to thank our new police chief, Kevin Franklin, for leading those efforts. And my third highlight is really all the efforts we've had to keep the Bay Area affordable by expanding our Clipper Start discount to 50% off. We took that vote this year, and I'll start January 1st. And making sure that low-income residents can, get discounts on BART. And we also continue to rapidly build affordable housing, including the opening of a 100% affordable housing development at Balboa Park Station, the Capuso Apartments, which is just incredible. When it comes to our actual everyday train service, we've made massive improvements this year, and the continually uptick of ridership shows that what we are doing is working. We took a huge step forward with our service plan, acknowledging we need to be more than a way for people just to get to work. We increased service during nights and weekends where ridership is growing at a faster rate, something that we all have been working for the last few years. As I mentioned, we are now running only new trains as part of the base schedule. We've gone fully digital, and the advances with Clipper means that you can pay with your phone, with your physical Clipper card, and by the end of next year, hopefully we get there, we'll be able to pay with your contactless payment of choice. We unveiled our state-of-the-art rail inspection vehicle, which has inspected 400, sorry, I am off base with here. When it comes to our rider experience, we also are about to install our very first fare gates that's going to be open at the end of this month at West Oakland Station, ending the year with strong commitment to safety. And when it comes to safety, I truly believe BART is safer than ever to ride. First, our deployment strategy is paying off as our riders are seeing more uniformed police and safety personnel than ever now as our ambassadors, social workers, and police officers prioritize their time riding trains and being on our platforms and in the system. Our response times remain one of the highest across the Bay Area, and I encourage anyone to take a look at any of the downtown stations to see how they have transformed. We won awards for our Progressive Policing and Community Engagement Bureau for using unarmed ambassadors and crisis intervention specialists to increase presence in our system and help people in need. We also started running shorter trains to enhance safety because we realize active spaces are safer spaces. We increased police officer salaries to help recruit additional officers and retain current staff. In the latest quarter, BART Police received 837 officer applications, a record high for any quarter in the department's history. Keep in mind, we have about 30 vacancies right now. We move forward with the purchase of the future headquarters of BART Police at a building near the 19th Street Station to better serve our riders and recruit and retain employees, and once again, really make sure that we as BART are really staking our presence here in downtown Oakland. We launched our Let's Talk About Us campaign and domestic violence and phase 2 of our Not One More Girl initiative about sexual harassment this year. They are both great examples of using art to change a culture of violence and building community partnerships to make BART safer, and that work is actually being used as a statewide model for how we address harassment and violence on transit. Also, safety means keeping our infrastructure renewed, maintained, and up to date. We now have 10 brand new escalators in downtown San Francisco and 6 new canopies along Market Street. The Measure RR rebuilding program is ahead of schedule with more than 46% of all work complete. Since we started our rebuilding efforts, we have now replaced 52 track miles of track, 86 miles of the 34.5 kV, I don't know what kV is. Kilovolts. Cool. This is why I don't have this job and you all do. Cable, our power system, and 50 track switches. We also know a safe system is a clean system. We reopened newly remodeled all-gender restrooms at Embarcadero and downtown Berkeley stations. And in the last couple of years, we have now reopened 6 underground restrooms. 345,000 people have used these attended, clean, and safe restrooms in 2023, and those additional bathroom attendants means more eyes in our system. We released our Safe and Clean plan to show the progress we have made in making our system cleaner, safer, and more reliable, which included doubling the rate of deep cleaning train cars, and we increased the pressure washing of stations. And you know what I'm really, really proud of is that all ideas that have been, these are not just ideas that we have, but these are actually things that have been implemented, they've been embraced, and have made an actual impact on our riders based on data. And right now, we have to continue building trust with the public as we reckon with our financial outlook. I'm proud of what BART has done to increase transparency and accountability. At the start of the year, our former Inspector General unexpectedly resigned before her term was over. I immediately led an expedited search and am proud to now have Claudette B. Murray as our new Inspector General. And thanks to MTC, and in particular our GM Powers and Director Evan Dufty, we nearly tripled the office's budget, allowing them to expand and perform even more audits and investigations to identify fraud, waste, and abuse. We notably also just took on the IG's recommendations at our last meeting, as this board approved a new financial organizational structure with the creation of a chief financial officer. This reform will begin a new chapter in financial efficiency and transparency. And most importantly, when it comes to our financial outlook, we were successful in our advocacy efforts to get financial assistance from the state budget that immediately averted an impending fiscal cliff. BART stands to receive 45% of the region's allocation of these funds based on MTC's distribution framework, thanks to our tireless, bold, and consistent advocacy. I particularly want to thank Alex Walker and our Government Affairs Division for leading so much of that state advocacy. And led by our fearless AGM, Pam Herhold, and our budget director, Chris Simi, the BART budget team remained nimble, strategic, and thoughtful in developing financial scenarios and delivering a balanced budget during the most difficult financial time in the history of public transit. I was shocked to see this in the notes, but the grants team secured nearly $400 million of funds in 2023 to help pay for improvements and reinvestment within the BART system. Listen, I could go on and on and on, and I will say my prepared remarks had many, 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 many more things to note, but you don't want to hear me talk for forever. There's so much to celebrate, so I'm just going to end here with a few thank yous. First, I want to thank all of our board-appointed officers for your service. General Manager Bob Powers, Independent Police Auditor Russell Bloom, District Secretary April Quintanilla, General Counsel Gina Zeeland, Controller Treasurer Chris Gann, and Inspector General Claudette B. Murray. I was reflecting on this. 5 of our 6 board-appointed officers were appointed in the past 5 years, a couple of which are still interim. Despite this turnover, you have held strong and you continue to lead the district because you care, the 6 of you all care so deeply and believe so deeply in BART. So thank you. Second, I want to thank my board colleagues for caring about BART as well. I'm grateful there remains a majority of the board that is so rider-focused, that passes budgets, that treats employees right, and shows up to meetings to do the work. I especially want to thank Vice President Mark Foley for being so supportive throughout the year and helping me out a lot in this role. Third, I want to thank our labor leaders for the immense amount of engagement throughout the year. I see the work that you all do and cannot thank you enough. I think that where we are with labor relations, I am so fortunate. I know a lot of that is based on our labor leaders and our presidents really coming to the table, engaging with the board members, and being willing to bring up issues with us. And I know that we are very fortunate to have that kind of relationship. And lastly, I really, really want to thank the 4,000 employees at BART who show up every day to keep our system safe and running. I truly believe there's no Bay Area without BART, and there's no BART without our employees. So thank you.